mean, I was crying my head off.
Well, you was beautiful. I'll show you all pictures of that too.
Yes.
She was an absolute dog.
But we went on and we got married, and it was the funniest thing. The buses, they stopped the buses from running. So some of the people who had let in couldn't get back home because they didn't have no way to get back because they had stopped the buses from running because the snipers were out. They were shooting people.
Wow.
They were shooting people. And so after the wedding was over, these people had to get back home. We had to take them home. Instead of us going on our honeymoon, we were driving, put so many people in the car, and we were having to take people back home because all the buses had stopped. And so we end up taking people home, I guess, out till late at night.
Where were y'all going on a honeymoon to?
No, we was just gonna go to a hotel. Yeah, cause we back then we wasn't doing like y'all going to Aruba and all the places in Mexico. It wasn't like that, you know. No.
So from your marriage, how many children did you have?
Let me tell you now.
Okay.
The first night, just short of 5 or 10 days, it wasn't quite 9 months. About 5 days short of 9 months or whatever it was, your oldest sister, Holly, came. So I must have hit it that same night. How must have hit it that first night?
Get it?
No.
Hit it that first night.
He hit a home run the first night, and my sister Holly, the oldest, was created. That's funny, Mom. You gotta keep that. So from the first night of creation, from that, how many kids came out of your marriage, out of your union?
5.
5. And what are your children's names?
My oldest daughter, Holly Ruth. My second daughter, Inger. My son, Billy, William Johnson Jr. My second son, Gregory Allen. And the baby girl, Miss Brandy Denise Johnson.
And you know that.
Let me say this.
I was saying, this is all of us right here on this picture. It's a family picture of us. That's all of us right there. That's actually at my parents' house. What you want to say, Daddy?
I was going to say it now. And what had me, I didn't want any girls.
Right.
I didn't want no girls. And then my first 2 was girls.
Why didn't you want girls? Tell them why you didn't want girls.
I didn't want no girls because I know how I was and how I played girls.
Right.
And I didn't want no daughters being treated like that.
My God.
And that's why I didn't want it. But I had my mind made up. I was going to shoot until I got me a boy.
Yes,
So
shoot
my
your
third
shot.
was a boy. My third was a boy.
And that's a hot mess. He didn't want no girls. Because he knew how he had treated women before Christ.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, even though he might have been like that, somebody used to get upset when I would say my dad is the perfect example as a man. And they say, he ain't perfect. I didn't say he was perfect, but he is a perfect example of a man. My dad has taught us how to be treated and how not to be treated. So for that, I truly do thank you. To this day, he still spoils me. Pick up water. Don't you go get that water. I'll go buy it for you. Load my car with water because I'm not supposed to pick up anything heavy. And Mama go stay at my brother's house and he go out there and get her luggage and bring all the stuff in. And a lot of men don't understand that type of stuff. And then when you're raised in that type of environment in 2023, you expect that, but these Negroes, they ain't taught like that no more. So you have 5 kids. Oh my God, how many grandkids you got?
I've got 12 grandchildren and 8 great-grands.
Oh my God, I didn't even know it was that many of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot of kids. Okay. So presently, what is something you do every day now? We're getting into the present. What is something that you do? Well, no, let me ask you this. Let's ask this first. Pastor, we'll go back to pastor. How many years did you pastor?
40 years.
40 years you pastored this church that we're in actually right now. 40 years, and now my brother Greg is the pastor, and it went from Original Christ Temple to Greater Original Christ Temple, now to Kingdom Impact. Okay, so you pastored for 40 years, you was first lady. What is the best thing about ministry?
Best thing about ministry is helping somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what brought me here.
Mm-hmm.
The first church I came to down in Columbia, Tennessee, I had heard that the pastor would come through. It was a pastor from Louisville that would come through and sort of stop through, get what money that he could get, whatever, and then he'd go on down to another church. And I felt like the people of God shouldn't be treated like that, you know. So that's why I made my mind up to come. Your mother didn't really want to come,
Right.
but she did it for me. She didn't really want to come because all you all had friends in Cincinnati, grew up with other kids and everything. There wasn't no children down there. And she told me years later, much years later, and it really made me start to cry. She told me years later that Holly, your older sister, the first Christmas we had down there, she said, Mama, where's the people?
She said, where are the people?
Because Cincinnati was full, you know.
Yeah, full of
you had so many children, you had so many teenagers, you had so many young people, you had so many old. The church was just packed. But down here, I think we started out about 9, 10 or something like
Senior
that.
citizens, no kids.
Five senior citizens in Hickory.
Yeah, 5 senior citizens when we came here.
Okay.
That's when Holly said that we came to church that Easter, and we in Cincinnati. It was about 800 or 900 people in the church, and so it was just packed with children on Easter Sunday. And so they were just all excited. You know, they thought, you know, we was Easter, and I done made, because I sewed, I made their clothes, I made all their clothes and everything. And they came to church and they kept looking, and they were the only children in church. And my oldest daughter came to me. She said, she's about 7. She said, Mama, where are the people? And you talking about tears?
Yeah.
I mean, that hurt me so bad.
But she kept that from me. She
I
didn't
didn't tell
tell me
her. No,
that.
I didn't. I was so hurt because she said, "Where are the people?
Where are the people?
Where are the people?"
So now 2023, we'll ask Daddy. I'm gonna ask you too, Mama, but I know what you're gonna say. But Daddy, what is your life like now? So what is something that you enjoy on a daily basis now?
Go in the gym every day. Well, first thing at 6 a.m. is my prayer.
Yes, you do every morning.
From 6 to 7. Every morning, first thing I do every morning, 6 to 7 is
I'm a
prayer.
witness.
And then after that, gym. Gotta go to gym. And I was before this COVID hit. I was going sometimes twice a day. Twice a day.
And so, Mother,
I just go.
what is your daily routine?
What my daily routine is, the first thing that I do is my prayer, and then I do my daily reading. And Brandon gets home and talks to me about it. I make up my bed. She said, I've never seen nobody make up the bed at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be like,
5
Lord.
o'clock in the morning, whatever, that bed is going to be made up.
All the way.
But what do I do? Basically, I just play around on my keyboard and just chill. I'm retired. I don't have any children. I'm not going to cook if I don't have to. I just do exactly what I want to do.
And she don't want to be no greeter at Walmart, because I told her she could be a she don't want to be no greeter at Walmart.
I told her I'm not greeting nobody.
But I've witnessed, they really do every morning. They wake up, they praying, they reading their Bibles, the bed is made up. But one thing I would have to say, even though at 46 it's weird to some people, but all my life I've always seen her fix my daddy plate, pour his drink. If she go get him something from McDonald's, she puts it on the plate. She don't serve it to him in a paper. And that's something that all of her daughters, we learned how to do. Well, Holly and Ingrid, they kind of stopped. They started out, but I still believe in that stuff. If I cook at the house, I make sure I cook Daddy fix his plate and get him his drink, and he's gonna make sure you do that because he ain't gonna fix it.
I don't know what he would do if I didn't fix his plate. Because it's just something for 54 years I've been doing it.
We tell him we pray that you don't go first because he's not going to understand it, but he know I'll take it. I'll fix his plate. I believe in fixed plates, but yeah, he is spoiled rotten. So, okay, so now we're going to go to the future. So now it's 2023.
Wow.
So what is something, I'm going to name each one of your children. What is something, no, you know something we've never ever discussed. Never, my parents have never, this whole entire time, in 2020, we lost my oldest brother, Billy. The Nashville Police Department, they killed him. I'm not going to say he died. They murdered my brother. And you all have never interviewed. I did all the interviewing for the family because I was like, y'all got me messed up. That's my big brother. So today, I guess I don't even know how to say, how has that impacted or changed your life being parents losing a child? What would you say to a parent that loses a child?
You want me to go? Okay. You know what? I still haven't wrapped my mind around that. Sometimes it still seems, because my son stayed, he had gotten married, moved off to Michigan, and he went to travel and stayed away so much. Sometimes I still feel like he's in California. I think he's in Florida. You know, and I have to really remember he's actually dead and not coming back. I haven't wrapped my mind around it. And I don't talk about it. And I told somebody not too long ago, I said, my son got killed in 20. And ever since then, I aged. I'm serious. In 2 years, 2.5 years, I don't look nothing like I did. Not to me. I mean, because it looked like it took something out of me. It really did. It took something out of me. And I don't really know what, but I know when I look in the mirror, I can see the hurt or the sadness. And it's made a difference in, you know, but I'm going on. I don't count God foolish because I know everything that he does, I promise you, I teach this, everything that he does is right. Everything that he does is right. I haven't figured it out or why, but everything that God does is right. And I've accepted it, but like I said, I would tell anybody, just all you can do is rely on your faith. Put your trust and confidence in God, and I promise you, he'll uphold you. He'll undergird you. He'll do that if you put your trust in him. So I had to not look at what happened and how it happened, but I had to look at nothing happens except God allows it.
Wow, you telling the truth. You have anything to say?
Well, you know, I still take pleasure in my office. Up at the top, I got one of these big pictures there, and got a smaller picture on the other side. I still got this, what do you call them things they put them in?
The urn.
Urn.
Yeah.
Well, I still got that on my desk because I hadn't found nowhere to spread it at since we hadn't been to the ocean for a while.
And we won't let them take it home.
And what's in my mind now, I might have, because I'm at the conclusion of my life. 83. I might get another 2, 3, whatever. But whatever.
10.
But whatever.
15.
But if I don't find somewhere to spread it at, then y'all just put it in the coffin with me.
No, okay.
Put it in the coffin with me.
That's a good idea.
It's in there. It's been in there for how many years?
2.5.
2.5 years.
2.5.
Yeah, May 21st.
May or May 3.
So anyway. I might just put it in the coffin with me.
Okay, I never heard that. That's good to know. That's good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because we're scared to bring him home. We said we don't want him to come up out of there. So we
But I get to see him sometime. I'll go in there and I look and say, hey, Doc, what's going on, man? You know, so I still get pleasure from him.
Yeah.
And I thank God for the 40-something years.
Yes, we did.
He was my man.
Yeah.
He was my man.
Yeah.
And he took care of his little brother.
And his sister, he didn't play about. The big ones too, he didn't play.
He took care of his little brother.
Yeah. Well, now that's good. Y'all gonna make me cry.
No, maybe you.
Yeah. Okay, so, what is something we'll change? Okay, so what is something that you all would say to Howie? Just say 20 years from now, you're gone to glory and you want us to have something to hear your voice, something that you're proud of him, something that you wanna, what would you say to Howie? That's the oldest. Where's Howie at on here? Howie is the oldest, that's Howie. What would you say to Howie?
What I would say to Holly is, you are the oldest, and you've always been the strong one. And everybody, all the children, come to you and look up to you. Just keep your position, stay strong, because everybody needs somebody to look up to. And since you've been that person all this time, don't let that change. Don't let it change.
You got anything you want to say?
I thank Holly for being my oldest daughter and taking the position of the oldest daughter. When I was sick in 21 with COVID, that girl came by and washed me from head to toe. From head to toe. But I'll tell whoever else she has to wash, a brother or sister, whatever, don't be so rough with her. I mean, she scrubbed me. Now my son couldn't do it. I don't know, neither one of my other daughters could do it. But that girl scrubbed me from head to toe.
Yeah.
And what I want all my children to remember, and I see them doing it now and believing it now, that sometimes you have some bad days, but God will always bring something up. You know, sometimes you can't see nothing good, but God always, we've had some lean days, but every time, when I first started passing, we had some lean days. Sometimes we didn't know we was gonna get to go home. How many years was it before we stayed here for Christmas? 30-something?
Oh, yeah, more than that.
More than that, all my life.
30-something years, we always went home for Christmas. But never stayed here in Tennessee. Always went home. Sometimes it was lean, it looked like we was gonna be able to make it, but something always come up.
Right.
So just remember that.
Okay, so now
He'll always bring something up for you.
where's Inger? We got Inger here. What would you say? What do you want to say to Inger?
Just keep doing what you're doing. You're as smart as can be. You know how to hold things together. You know how to make things work. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, and what would you
You're my second daughter. And I remember it was just you and Holly.
Y'all look at the camera.
And always so special. Always so special. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep serving the Lord. Keep serving your husband. Keep serving the church. Keep loving your brothers and sisters. And that's one thing that's really got me happy. They have all our children here and have all our children so close one to the other. And a lot of people would like to have what we had. I have people tell me all the time, I wish my children were here. So we've been so blessed. We never had to travel to go see this one or go see that one. We've always been together. And that's just the goodness of God. And I thank Him for it. I thank Him for it.
Yes. Mama, what would you say to Inger?
And what I would say to Inger is, every family got to have a prayer warrior. Every family's got that one person that they need and call for prayer. And I think that would be a good position, a good fit for her to take the prayer warrior position. Always be the one that they can come to when you want to talk about needing prayer. You be that strong one spiritually, the prayer warrior. And the other thing I want to tell you to do is keep making the pound cakes. They are delicious.
The pound
keep
cakes.
making them pound cakes.
They
okay?
are delicious. And she's done learned the sweet potato pies too. She's doing good with that too. Okay, that is Inger. Okay, Billy. What would you say to Billy if he was still here? What would you want to say to Billy now?
If Billy was here, what I would say to him right now is, get your apartment. I told you to get you an apartment. We got all kinds of stuff that we can help you put your apartment together. Get you your apartment so your mama and daddy can help you decorate it.
Yes.
Get your apartment. and stop moving from place to place. That's what I would say to him.
Billy, yeah, you funny. Okay, Daddy, what would you say, Billy?
I said, Billy, be the man that I know you can be. You're a hard worker. You're the second one that went into the military. Nobody went in the military but me, your uncles, your brother-in-laws. None of them thought about military. You and me was the only one had the nerve to go into the military, and you spent more time in there than I did. You know, that made me proud. And as I said in the beginning, to see you take care your big brother, your little brother, and help him along and kept him along, and just proud of you, and know that you would work when you wanted to, and it was very strong. We appreciate that.